Hello everyone, I'm Mike D'Angelo with That's Entertainment, and this is your retro review of Kid Chameleon by Sega. When it comes to games where the protagonist gains a host of abilities other than the ones that he naturally has, Kirby is usually the first one to come to mind. Nintendo's character has used the concept tons of times over his 18 years of existence. But despite Kirby being around longer than some other titles, some of those other games beat him to the punch. Among them was a classic for the Sega Genesis called Kid Chameleon, which came out in May 1992. 3 months before the first Kirby game arrived in North America. In the local arcade, a new virtual reality game has recently come out. Too fun to resist, a lot of kids go in, play, and are never seen again. Why? The game's end boss, Heady Metal, has snapped out of the restraints of his built-in artificial intelligence and has begun kidnapping his would-be defeaters. Nobody has been able to stand up to him or his minions, but all that is about to change. A boy named Casey, who calls himself Kid Chameleon, is ready to take up the challenge and free all the captured gamers. At the onset of the game, Kid Chameleon seems a great deal like standard platformers. A simple jump on an enemy's head is enough to damage them and usually keeps you alive in the process. However, even before the first level is complete, you start to notice that there are more things present than is typical. Among these revelations is the mask system that Kid Chameleon relies on for his powers. Scattered throughout the levels are helmets and masks that transform the gamer into a hero, with powers such as flight, extra health, and speed. In addition to this, many of these identities allow him some other cool abilities. A hockey mask turns him into a mock Jason Voorhees called Maniacs. A samurai helmet turns him into Red Stealth, allowing him to jump higher and slash at his enemies. The Iron Knight, one of the first characters that Casey can become, is able to scale walls that the other characters can't. Another good point the game makes is its diversity. It's very easy to get a new experience on subsequent playthroughs since teleporters can move you to new levels. Some of these create brand new branching paths to the end level that you wouldn't be able to access otherwise. Kid Chameleon was pretty good looking for its time. The colors were vibrant, there was usually a lot going on at once, and even the background looked extremely impressive. If virtual reality ever does get to the level implied in this game, we're definitely in for a treat. The sound is only marginally worse. The themes throughout the levels really fit the mood, setting up the trials the kid has to endure neatly. The sound effects straddle the line between varied and redundant. You'll probably get sick of hearing the synthesized die every time you mess up. So Kid Chameleon got the jump on Kirby, securing him as the first benefactor of the lots of abilities games. But even if Kid hadn't come out before, the pink puffball didn't have the myriad abilities available to copy until his second game came out nearly a year later. And the kid didn't stop there either. He had a brief stint in the comic book series called Sonic the Comic, which was pretty involved. Unfortunately, his fate in the story, along with many others that appeared in Sonic the Comic, went unresolved. For a middling title released on the Sega Genesis, you don't really need to look any further than Kid Chameleon. It's baffling that it wasn't made into a series, because it was so impressive and addicting. However, that isn't to say that the adventure necessarily has to stop there. Recently, a level editor called KE has been released. In time, it's assumed that the editor will gain plenty of features and allow for much more freedom and innovation. If you're looking to give the classic a go though, besides finding it on Sega, you can download it or purchase a compilation that represents it.